Welcome back to One Hot Bite. Melissa here, where healthy doesn't have to be boring, and we are not being boring at all today, and we're still being super healthy. So today is very special because I got contacted by a company to try out one of their products and show it to you guys. And so that's why I made pasta for the first time. Those of you that saw my last video, you saw me announce that we were gonna make pasta this is my very first time making it. I had this company reach out. They wanted me to try their pasta maker, and we're gonna try it today. And I'm gonna show you what came shipped, and this is what came today. So it is a stainless steel pasta maker. It's from company Osomez, and it is the pasta cutter and everything. I'll give you a closer look as we get into this. And so it comes with the main piece here, the shield for the pasta, the handle, and the vise holder that holds it to your counter space or whatever you're gonna do. Before we get any further, I wanna thank you so much for being here. Come on this journey with me while we make some awesome pasta. We're just gonna make a regular egg noodle pasta, and we're gonna turn it into this incredible dish in the end. So we'll make our pasta first, and the next thing we're gonna make is a spinach and ricotta pasta that is low in fat, low in calories. It's actually super delicious. I made this for the family a couple nights ago, and I had to make it again. So if you haven't already done so, please subscribe down below, smash that like button. Let me show you this wonderful piece of equipment that I got. And I will link it down below. This is not paid for or sponsored. I'm just giving this a try for this company. So the link will be down below. You can buy on Amazon. A tour of this product. So again, here is the pasta cutter and the pasta maker. So you can go ahead and you can flatten your pasta with this side. There's two different sizes of slicing you can do, and it has 7 sizes that you can actually thin your pasta. So it goes up to 7. That's pretty amazing. So let me show you how we do this. Then we have our cover shield, and this just goes, it attaches super easy. Okay, I'm gonna spin it around. You're gonna see the other side. So these are the holes for your handle. So when you are thinning your pasta, you just go ahead and stick it in this one. It cranks super easy. Or you can move it. Then when you're gonna cut your pasta, you're gonna move it into these holes. It's super easy to move, and it works great. It was really easy to clean. Again, you have your vice grip that holds it down to the counter, and you just put it in this way. So let's get making our pasta. Okay, so I am going to make my pasta by hand. You can do this in a stand mixer or even in a food processor, but we are going to put a cup of flour down here. I think I did a 1.25 cups. I will have all the ingredients down below. We are gonna add 2 eggs, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of olive oil. That is it. We're gonna mix that in the center, bring it all together into a nice dough. I sped this up because it does take a little bit of time until you have this beautiful dough ball. Now we're gonna need to wrap this dough ball in plastic wrap nice and tight for about 10 minutes. We're gonna let that rest. As that is resting, I'm gonna show you how this works. So you can see how the knob works super easy on this pasta cutter. It has all the different thin and thickness settings. I have it secured to the counter. I have my shield up, and we are ready to get going. The first thing I'm going to do is get a cookie sheet, and I'm going to put a bunch of flour on it because we're going to be dipping in and out of this to keep the pasta nice and not sticky. Our dough has rested for 30 minutes just at room temperature. We're going to unwrap it. We're going to just make this into manageable pieces. So I'm going to cut it into 4, and we're going to make sure we wrap up our remaining pieces. We don't want them to dry out at all, so I'm going to rewrap those up. Now we're going to flatten this out with our hands and with our rolling pin just into an oblong piece so that we can feed it into our pasta maker. So we're just starting out with the first widest setting, number 1. We're going to thin this oval or oblong piece out to this. I'm going to fold it into thirds just like an envelope. We're going to feed it back in still at the number 1 setting. We're going to send it through here about 2 or 3 times before we start readjusting our settings. So after we've done it the 2 to 3 times, we're going to then take it down
a thinness setting each time we feed it through. Now, we want to make sure, the reason why we have that cookie sheet of flour is you're going to, if it starts to get sticky at all, you're going to want to run it through that flour so that it doesn't stick at all. I learned this one the hard way, but we are going to keep bringing this down, and you're going to see how it gets thinner and longer each time we send it through. The dough is super soft. I was actually really impressed with how well the dough held up inside this pasta maker. So my goal is to get this to the number 6 setting. I never did take it all the way to number 7. Like I said before, there are 7 settings, and you can do it any way you want. And it gets longer each time and thinner. We want it to be almost see-through, you know, so you could see the shadow of your hand behind it. So this is the point where I needed to flour it, but we went through one more time and it did work out. Once I got it all the way through, I ran it through the flour. And as you can see, it's very, very long at this point and a little bit difficult for me to manage at this point. So I am going to cut it in half after I get it all floured, just to make it in a smaller piece that'll make it easier for me to fit it through. And okay, I'm going to dust this off a little bit and we are going to run it through. This is the number 6 setting right here. So this will be my last thinness feed that I do on each of the pasta pieces. So as soon as I get this all the way through, and again, it's really nice and long, very, very thin. This is perfect. I'm going to change my handle on the pasta maker down to, I don't want skinny spaghetti, I want a little bit more of like a linguine. So I'm going to take it into this second hole. We're going to feed this through, and as you can see, I now have real pasta. I was so excited to see that this was actually working. Again, this was my first time doing this, and this pasta maker really made it easy for me, and I just kind of went through all the steps. It worked out great. So I'm going to go ahead and save these into little nests because I do not have a pasta dryer. So I have that cookie sheet that is floured. I'm going to roll these into a little nest, and they're going to dry for 30 minutes before you can cook them or save them. So they turned out really quite beautiful. Okay, our pasta is all made. That was crazy, but at least we got it all done. I'm going to show you how you can store your pasta. You can save it up to 2 days in the refrigerator. You can also freeze this. We're going to go ahead and roll into our spinach ricotta dish. I am going to save these in an airtight container for a day in the refrigerator. You can do up to 2 days. Now, if you blink, you're going to miss how fast this comes together. We need about 1.5 cups of spinach, thinly sliced. This is about 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons of pine nuts. I'm going to toast those really quick over a medium-high heat. I'm going to pull these out of the pan. We're going to get our water boiling and liberally add salt, and this is where our pasta is going to go. All right, back on our pan, we're going to add a little bit of water. We're going to add our spinach as well, and we're just going to steam this really quick, really quick. This goes very quickly. We're going to add about 1 tablespoon of butter, melt this. We're going to add 1 clove of garlic as well. Saute this very quickly. Again, this comes together very fast. I used part skim ricotta cheese. Again, you know me, keeping my fats low, and we're just going to mix this until it is fully incorporated. Watch the heat on this. Turn it down if you need to. We are going to add one more thing. We're going to add those toasted pine nuts back into this. Just mix it one more time. Our water is now boiling. We're going to add a serving of our noodles in, and this is going to come together, fresh pasta, 90 seconds tops on this. And as soon as it's done, we're going to transfer it back into our mixture. A little bit of that water is okay to come in this. It's just going to make it more creamy. We're going to mix this all together. And at this point, you'll add whatever salt and pepper you prefer in this. So that is your choice, but you are going to want to add a little bit of salt and pepper to it. As soon as it's fully mixed, Looks so creamy and good, and you can see how this is so minimal ingredients. There's really nothing to this and can come together so quick. We're going to put this in a bowl. Oh, it smells so good. The pasta looks great. I think I did a pretty good job on that pasta. We're going to do a taste test. And Tucker approves. And Chief joined the party today, and he approves as well.
I don't know about you, but this is one amazing bite. You can see how quickly the pasta dish comes together in the end, and very minimal ingredients. Now, if you got this pasta in a restaurant, it's gonna run you between 1,100 and 1,500 calories for roughly the same exact size of serving. And we're gonna have the same exact serving, and it's only 432 calories. So you cannot beat that for a wonderful, cheesy, rich, delicious plate of pasta. So this is the first time I've even tried my fresh pasta. When I made this for the family, I used just dry noodles from the store because I didn't have my pasta maker at the time. And this is so good. That pasta is chewy. It's really good. Really great flavors here. I approve. The puppies approve. This is one delicious bite. Not to mention, nice and low in calories, super easy put together. If you don't want to make your own pasta, you can definitely make this dish in a flash. It's so easy to make, and again, such minimal ingredients. So I don't know, I think we did pretty okay making our own pasta. There were a couple bumps in the road, but all in all, this turned out amazing. I would make my own pasta again. And thanks again to Osomez for sending me that pasta maker. Those of you that don't have one, click that link down below and get one right away, because this was amazing. And thank you guys so much for sending that to me. I really, really appreciate it. And you all have a wonderful week. I love you guys. We're coming at you with overnight oats and granola. We're gonna make a power-packed healthy breakfast next week. So I love you guys. I'll see you next week.